Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me today for this show is Bharat Ramraj, and soon Naman Suri will join us too. He was the one giving us all the updates from Mumbai last night. He was covering the game, and the playoffs are sealed. It's Gujarat Titans at the top of the table, followed by Royal Challengers Bangalore, then Punjab Kings, and finally Mumbai Indians. Now, this has been one of the most interesting races of the playoffs in the IPL history. Some of the teams that you were expecting to top the charts are not even in the playoffs. So let's start with the teams from the bottom up. We are going to be talking about who looks the strongest at this point and who could possibly make it to the semi-finals. But let's start from the bottom up. Mumbai Indians staying true to their nature, starting off their season very, very bad. Hardik Pandya as the captain. And then at the Wankhede, Jasprit Bumrah comes back to the team. Yes, they lost that match, but after that, the season flipped for Mumbai Indians. Bharat, you know what I mean, when you look at those two phases, it's almost like you're looking at two different teams. What changed for Mumbai Indians?
I guess the Mumbai Indians always have been slow starters, so they needed somewhere some kind of momentum. They got it in that game against Delhi Capitals. At one point of time, it felt as if Delhi Capitals were going to win with Karun Nair playing that brilliant innings. Mitchell Sander got a couple of wickets, cleaned up Karun Nair, and from there they went on to win. So they needed that little bit of momentum, and from there on they just kicked on and went on to win a slew of games. And again, they were playing Delhi Capitals. It kind of depleted Delhi Capitals in what turned out to be a virtual quarter final. And yes, they again beat them. They were too powerful for Delhi Capitals. So see, they already always had a power-packed side. If you look at their setup, especially when Jasprit Bumrah came back into reckoning, or when he came back into the side, and someone like Mitchell Sander started to perform really well, then that particular side looked like there is a different look to it. Even if you look at their batting lineup, Surya Kumar Yadav after a couple of failures started to perform really well. Even Rohit Sharma here or there, 2-3 knocks, he went on to do well. So they always had that kind of power packed side. Hardik Pandya as well, somewhere lower down the order. His bowling has been really good, although his batting has not been at its absolute best, but still is bowled very well. So they have Trent bowled as well. So they have the players. They just needed that little bit of momentum. They got it, and after that, they just turbocharged the engine, and that is what to expect from Mumbai Indians. But even now, as we know that Mumbai Indians have played 13, they still have one more game to go. They would like to win that game so that they give themselves the best chance to get into qualifier one. That would be their main goal, to finish in top two, and they definitely have the momentum. So basically, Delhi Capitals was the one that gave them the momentum or gave them the ignition key, and it was against Delhi Capitals only they went on to qualify for the playoffs.
Naman, you were there at the game last night. Mumbai Indians sealed the final playoff berth, and rain threat was looming, but thankfully everything worked perfectly in Mumbai Indians' favor. Tell us what the crowd was like after the game, because Mumbai Indians really started off slow, and at one point it looked like they couldn't even make it with the kind of cricket that they were playing, but it absolutely turned around mid-season.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Mumbai Indians did turn around pretty well in the end of the, I mean, in the middle of the season. After their first 5 games, they were only having one win out of it, and from there to turn around things, especially against that Delhi game. From there, it all started, and from there, they were able to take, themselves to the playoffs, gave themselves the best chance by winning all those matches, 6 in a row. 7 out of 8 games. That Gujarat Titans game as well would have been theirs if not for the rain. Yesterday, rain didn't play a spoil sport. Delhi Capitals would have been the one who would have gotten the most affected if rain had come in. And if they had, they believe they had the best chance of winning, irrespective. Because of the conditions yesterday, they were on a slower side, they were sluggish, and spinners were playing a good part of it. However, Delhi's pace lineup didn't do well. They took the wickets, but they were smashed for more than around 10 runs per over, and that kind of hurt them very badly, especially the last 2 overs where they conceded 48 runs. So that kind of took the game away from them, because uh, at the 16th over mark, Mumbai Indians were 118 for 4. From there, they took it to 180. That tells you where Delhi Capitals lost. And I think even though it reached 180, I think Delhi would have could have won it, because chasing sides have had the upper hand at Wankhede always, and I think they panicked. But in view of fans, everyone was sticking around, because in the end, Bumrah was starting to bowl some magnificent piece of bowling. He got a couple of wickets in the end, and I think the fans were still in the stadium to just cheer for him, to see how Mumbai qualifies. Because despite the rain not coming between the match, at the end of the day, it started to rain heavily. It started to pour down heavily as everyone started to come out of the stadium. It started to come down. The clouds finally gave up and started to burst. And I mean, it gave us a full game, no doubt about that. But everyone was running towards the station at the end. So, irrespective, they enjoyed very well, and it was a magnificent performance from Mumbai to see the team.
Bharat, moving on to the next team, Punjab Kings. I think this is the the team that we least expected to be in the top four, especially with the kind of performances that we had been seeing in the past few seasons. Now, will you credit this to Shreyas Iyer, the captain? Because look at what he did with KKR last year. Yes, there was a Gautam Gambhir as the mentor as well, but at the same time, and you say this quite a lot of times, that Shreyas Iyer is, I'm not sure what the word you use. I think you say he's the most
Best Indian captain going, or is the best captain going around in IPL,
best
let's say.
captain going around, right? So do you credit this to Shreyas Iyer?
Yeah, captain has to be credited to some extent at least, because he's been a fine leader, not just with Punjab Kings. I believe even if you go back in time, he showed some promise with Delhi Capitals as well. I'm not even thinking about KKR. He's definitely a fine leader who's able to read the game pretty well. A couple of examples I gave in one or two live shows, when he used his spinner at the right time, when he used Chahal at the right time, how he rotated the bowlers and all. But a lot of credit also has to go to their opening duo of Prabsimran Singh and Priyan Sharia. That is, I think, has also given them. They also have made a huge impact on PBKS's performances, because they've been consistently giving them quick starts. They've been not just giving them good starts, but also quick starts. If you look at the power play overs, they are definitely at the top, in the top two or top three when it comes to strike rates. And they have been consistently scoring runs as well. So I think we have to give it to the two openers. Prabsimran Singh has really improved as a batsman. He's improved his offside game, and Priyan Sharia, I think, is someone who has a very good future. Is very good, very risky. Yes, finally, I have to give it to Shreyas Iyer, because they have a kind of bowling lineup which, on paper, it is not great. I won't say it's a bad bowling lineup, because they have a lot of new ball bowlers. Marco Jensen, even Bartlett. Everyone wants to bowl. Even the one that they have replaced with Kyle Jamieson coming in, he also wants to bowl with a new ball. So their bowling attack lacks a little bit of, what can I say, jigsaws of the puzzle. Like in the slog overs, they don't have too many options. So considering all that, I think Shreyas Iyer has to be given a lot of credit, because it's not just about tactics. It's important for captain to remain calm, to remain collected, and that is what he basically did in this has done in this IPL. It's not shouted, screamed at the players.
Naman, your thoughts about Punjab Kings? They've been on a roll, honestly.
Definitely, they have been on a roll. They have performed brilliantly well, and I think the credit should go to Shreyas Iyer, because he has done this not just with one team. He has taken three different IPL teams to playoffs at this point in time, and that tells you how good of a captain he is, how much he knows the conditions. He won the Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy, if I'm not wrong, and he has been brilliant wherever he has been going. He has performed with the bat. The top three, we are going to credit Prabhsimran and Priyancharya a lot because they have given them flying starts. But Shreyas Iyer has also solidified at points despite a middle phase where he was not getting the runs. But again, he came back and he has given that solidity in the middle order to the Punjab team. And then on the other hand, in the bowling department, Yuzvendra Chahal wasn't performing well in the beginning of the season, and then despite that, he was continuously. I mean, he is a senior player, but at some point you believe that okay, we should try out something different because he's not getting the wickets that you want at the points that you want. So he still backed him. He continued to give him chances, and Yuzvendra Chahal, being the senior player, being the experienced, the veteran, he came back, gave the best of his performances, and that kind of spurred Punjab Kings' resurgence. At in the middle, they were struggling a bit, but they came back strong, and now they are in the hunt for top two. And I think uh, against Delhi Capitals, they will be having an upper hand. Mumbai Indians, they it will be a strong competition. Their last two games, but against Delhi Capitals, with the form that Delhi is currently going in, the slump they are going through. Aksar Patel was also out due to sickness last night. So I think Punjab Kings might just have the chance to seal their deal and go into the top two with most likely Gujarat Titans. And I think most of the credit should go to Shreyas Iyer for this.
Well, there's a comment here from Vaibhav. As a CSK fan, I am supporting Punjab Kings all the way just because of Iyer. After losing central contract, his comeback is inspirational both as a player and captain. I mean, this is one of those aspects of Shreyas Iyer's, doing Shreyas Iyer doing so well in throughout this season. That one, even with Ishan Kishan as well, he did not do too well after that one century. But when we talk about Shreyas Iyer now losing that central contract and making this solid comeback, it's like Weber was saying, it's inspirational.
Yeah, he's a gritty performer. We have seen it in the past how he has made a comeback. People were going after him. Even now, they go after him for his issues against the short ball. He showed that he has worked on it and has come back stronger. There was a time when he was playing leg side of the ball. He was getting a lot of pace ballers were hurling short deliveries at him, and then he rectified it. He's now going back and across and playing those full strokes. So that itself gives an inkling about how gritty he is. So I'm not very surprised that he was, after being thrown out of the test team, after losing his contract, that he has made a comeback. He's always been a gritty performer, even in his first Ranji Trophy game, or it was the second Ranji Trophy game. I remember the pitch was seaming around a lot. Shreyas Iyer may not have the best of techniques, but he went there and scored 60 runs or 55 balls or something on those lines, took the game away from the opposition's grasp. That itself told to me that here is a cricketer who is very gutsy, and he is not someone who will lose the plot after maybe one or two setbacks. So I'm happy for him that he's made a comeback, but I'm not at all surprised. And if he's going to lead PBKS to victory, then it's great. Then it is great as well to watch as a cricket affectionate.
Now moving on to Royal Challengers Bangalore, another surprise this season. Yes, they do well, but they don't always have as strong or as dominating performances as they have had throughout this season. And after a long while, RCB is actually looking like a well-rounded side. Yes, their top four always fires, and when they don't, it's bad news for RCB. But this time around, not only are there is the top order firing, but also their bowlers. Their bowlers are doing very, very well, and that's been one of the biggest difference in what RCB has done right throughout the season. And with Josh Hazelwood coming back, what are the chances of making it to the finals or the semis before that? Oh, sorry,
See,
finals. Yes.
See, I'll start with all the teams that have gone on to win the tournament, and I mean, the ones that have done it on repeat. That is KKR, Chennai, and Mumbai Indians, and all of these teams have kind of made their home grounds a fortress. RCB this time around has took a completely different path. They have won at home, no doubt about that, but their dominance came at away pitches. They were destroying the away fortresses like they were playing cards, and it was magnificent that they did that. They were able to gain that confidence despite not able to win at their own home ground. They continued on that away winning streak, and I think that kind of gave them an upper hand on the teams that they were visiting or playing against. And this time around, I think they are, like you said, a very well-rounded team. They have already, I think, Ngidi, they have announced a replacement for Ngidi, and he's also another South African who is around more than 6.5 feet tall. I think that is it. 6 feet 5 inches tall, or 6 feet 8 inches tall. He's a tall lad from South Africa, and I think Josh Hazelwood also might leave around the playoff time. I'm not sure, or if he's going to stick around for the playoffs. But irrespective, uh, they are a very well-rounded side. They have Karnal Pandya is firing on all cylinders, especially at away games, and whenever he is getting wickets, RCB is winning those matches. That kind of tells you how good of a bowler, how good of a batter he has been, smashing those 50 odd runs. I think in a game where the pitch was very sluggish, Virat Kohli was also struggling, but Virat Kohli played the anchor role and Karnal took the aggressor role. That kind of tell you that everyone is taking their responsibility very seriously. Players are there to, I mean, make their mark. Livingstone is there. He hasn't been in the best of forms, but right now he will be a very crucial player for them in the lower middle order, because he would be required to play some part along with Tim David. So that is what they will be concentrating on, and I think they have a very good chance of finally winning in the 18th season.
Bharat, do you think they can finally do it this year? They've got the team, they're firing.
Yeah, they have the momentum. That's the main thing. They're winning games where it seemed like RCB would lose against Mumbai Indians, against Chennai Super Kings. These are the kind of games RCB used to lose in the past, where the opposition would make a great comeback and suddenly RCB would lose the plot and end up on the losing side. But they're winning this kind of games, so that should give them some confidence. Maybe who knows? It's the 10-day break, 14-day break might have taken a little bit of momentum of them, because it happens. You would want to, when you're winning, you would want to play a lot more. You don't want to take a risk. Yes, you would rest. Sorry, you don't want to take a rest when you're winning. What has happened here is RCB were winning a lot of games. Suddenly there is a break. Who knows, their momentum might be affected a bit, but still they have a lot of bases covered. A lot of their bowlers are firing. Yes, Jose Silwood would likely return for the playoffs, and if Ngidi as Ngidi's replacement, they have taken that's for the playoffs. Muzarbani, tall, 6 feet 18, Zimbabwe pace bowler, gets a little bit of nip off the deck, and he has good control. So they have most of the bases covered. Krunal Pandya has been very gritty in a couple of matches, especially in day matches. Has really performed well. And with their batting lineup as well, Bill Salt is someone who gives them quick starts in the power play, and Kohli has been consistency personified once more. Yes, there could be a problem or two with Rajat Patidar having an issue or two with his finger, perhaps not at his absolute best when it comes to batting the middle order compared at least to the last season. But still, they have most of the bases covered, especially with Team David also improving his game against spin. So yes, this could be RCB season. They also have Andy Flower, in my humble opinion, the best coach going around. Andy Flower, barring that Ashes 2013-14, I don't remember him failing as the coach of England or as the coach of Gulf Giants, Trent Rockets, LSG, or RCB. So if they're going to do it, I think it is under Andy Flower.
So, according to Bharat, Andy Flower is making the difference. Is the real
Yeah,
difference
it's
here?
very different because very meticulous coach. See,
Yeah.
if you look at his record, England were a very good test side. I understand 2009 to 13, but if you don't expect them to be ranked number one in ODIs, they were during Flowers' time. We don't expect them to win a T20 World Cup, which they did in 2010 under Andy Flower. You don't expect them to reach the final of a Champions Trophy, which again they did. They should have won that, but for a little bit of what can I say? A couple of batters losing the plot, Bobar and Young Warner.
If I may add to this, this year in, I mean, the sports that I follow mostly, they have seen the teams that have never won anything come out to win some titles. India had not won a 50-over format in a long time. They won the Champions Trophy. Tottenham hasn't won a European title in 17 years. They have won it. Uh, and Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, and then there a lot of other things that have happened. So that kind of Harry Kane won a trophy
What
finally.
about our Liverpool?
Liverpool winning their 21st title.
That is
And
something that at least in my life, I may not be a great football fan, but in my lifetime, I am struggling to remember them winning an EPL title at
oh,
least.
they won it in 2020, the COVID season.
Okay, okay, that one.
Yeah, so that kind of goes on in the favor of RCB that this might be their year finally.
All right, and now on to the final team, Gujarat Titans. They've been one of the strongest since the very inception of the franchise. Won their first ever season, then the finals, and they've continued their streak. And they've been doing pretty well. Now they're topping the charts. Bharat, Gujarat Titans. What do you think of them?
Well, this is a side that has a set template, and everyone is playing according to it. I think that is the key point behind their all those victories. If you look at their batting template, one of them or at least two of the top three has to bat till the slog overs, and they perfectly followed it. Sai Sudarshan, Josh Butler, and Shubman Gill, all of them are somewhere in the top echelons of batting charts, top five, top six of the batting charts this season. If you look at their bowling attack as well, the roles have been well defined and those bowlers have carried it out. Someone like Prasid, for him, it is very clear that you have to just keep pounding the deck hard. Don't do other things. Don't try or experiment other things. Occasionally slow delivery, maybe occasionally look to swing the ball, but mainly hit the pitch hard. That's what is basically done. Not given much room. For Siraj, it's about taking wickets up front. He has done it to. It's done it to a reasonable extent. He's taken wickets up front. There is 3-4 seam ball, a little bit of swing. And that is the same with the someone like Sai Kishore. Yeah, he has been on occasions given the tough overs, ball in the slog, maybe even the last over, ball from round the wicket. They have pinned him as someone who can do that little bit of job in the slog overs, and he has also performed it really well. So, and for someone like Rahul Tibati, it is quite clear with 1 hour to go, 2 hours to go, you just have to go there and hit a boundary or two or a six and win the match. And that too, he also has performed his job in a game or two. So most of them have basically performed their roles, barring maybe Sharfin and Rutherford to some extent. I think that's the key to their success. They've basically taken CSK's template from another time and just taken it to another level.
Naman, Gujarat Titans.
I mean, they are at the top of the table. They have 2 games left. I think that is against Chennai Super Kings, who are at the bottom of the table, and Lucknow Super Giants. Both seem to be an easy affair for them, given the form they are in and the well-rounded shape their team holds. Because I think they might be in the bowling department least affected by these players leaving for the World Test Championship. Rabada hasn't played any significant part throughout the season. Their bowling has totally depended on Siraj, Prasid Krishna, sometimes Ishan Kishan, Rashid Khan, pitching in here and there, Sai Kishore, and all of these players. So Rabada's absence might not affect the players. The one person whose absence that might affect their playoff hopes is Josh Butler. Their batting has completely depended on the top three, and if Butler goes out, I mean, he is going to go before the playoffs, so that kind of will affect them because the burden will now shift completely over to Shuman Gill and Sai Sudarshan. So if one of those gets out, there won't be anyone, that we know of as of now, who will take the burden or anchor the innings like Josh Butler has been doing. He has been a significant part. All of these three players are in the orange cap list, in the top 10 at least. Sai Sudarshan, I think, is at the top. So, however it goes, the most important aspect I think they will miss is Josh Butler. Other than that, I think Tewatia is also starting to score here and there. I think the team is well rounded. They have their plans set. They know the conditions well, and given that the playoffs are going to be at their home ground, Ahmedabad, so that kind of adds to their arsenal. And I think the only aspect that they might want to figure out about is Josh Butler's position, who comes in and fills that role.
Bharat. Oh no, I already asked you about Gujarat
Yeah,
Titans.
also
But
add I'm hearing that Kusal Mandis will kind of fill that role,
oh,
but obviously Kusal Mandis is not in Butler's pedigree when it comes to batting the top order, because Butler can shift gears, can get you big scores. You can go from 20 or 15 balls to suddenly 70 of maybe 40 balls.
Yep. And on that note, I think we've covered all, not I think, we have covered all four teams that will battle in the playoffs, and then let's see who makes it to the final. But this will be an interesting showdown. We're seeing two games in Chandigarh and the other two in Mumbai, if I'm not wrong. Right?
Sorry.
The other two games, the final is in Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad?
One.
No. Two in Mulanpur, two in Ahmedabad.
Yes,
There's no
I will
game.
be. Yeah, I will be covering the ones in Mulanpur, and the rest will be there. Will be there. So don't worry about it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll be back soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.